Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be my seasonal TBR for fall. This is going to cover my TBR books for September, October, and November, aka my favorite time of the year. Is it fall in Texas yet? No, it is still 110 degrees every single day, but I am making fall happen. I'm bringing out the pumpkins, I'm bringing out the sweaters, I am watching Gilmore Girls, I'm manifesting it to happen regardless of the weather. So this TBR is going to cover all of the book clubs that I am doing, my anticipated releases over the course of the fall, as well as I will be choosing some challenges from my prompt jar. So let's just get into it. First up, I have my Patreon book club book for September. My patrons voted on Night Film by Marisha Pessel. This is a book that I have owned and had on my TBR since I was in college. It's been so long and I've always wanted to read it, and I feel like this will be a good one to start the spooky season with. This is a mixed media crime thriller about this girl who is the daughter of this reclusive film director, and she is found dead in an abandoned warehouse, and her death is ruled as a suicide, but a veteran investigator and journalist suspects that there was something else going on, something that is connected to her father and this like underground film world. So he starts investigating, and like I said, this is mixed media, so there are different like cool elements in this book. So I'm excited to read this with my patrons and discuss it. Next up, let's talk about my anticipated book releases from September, October, and November. I have quite a few. This is like a good couple of months for book releases. So on September 12th, we have In These Hollowed Halls, which is a dark academia anthology. I'm really not an anthology girl, although I do have a couple anthologies in this video. But this one immediately piqued my interest because ML Rio wrote a story in here. ML Rio is the author of one of my favorite books, If We Were Villains, and I have been dying to read something else by her. So I am very excited about this one. This one also has a story from Lane Fargo, who wrote another one of my favorite books. On October 3rd, we have After the Forest by Kel Woods. It looks like it is a Hans and Gretel retelling, but it takes place 20 years after they have survived the witch in the gingerbread house, and now they are struggling to survive. But Greta has a secret. She has kept the witch's grimoire, and it is now whispering secrets to her. So that sounds really good. Also on October 3rd, we have Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. The way that I am so excited for this book, Ashley Winstead is quickly becoming my favorite thriller author, and this is her new thriller. This one is set in a small town in Louisiana where there is a killer haunting this town. We're following the daughter of the town's preacher and a boy from the wrong side of the tracks, who are kind of at the center of all of this. It looks like it explores themes of religion and sort of like occult, satanic vibes to it. I'm just so excited. I will read anything that Ashley Winstead writes. Also on October 3rd, we have Out There Screaming, which is the other anthology that I'm very excited to read. This is an anthology that was edited by Jordan Peele, who is the writer and director of Get Out, Us, Nope, all movies that I love. So I'm very, very excited that he has put together this anthology of Black horror. Some of the authors included in this anthology are N.K. Jemisin, who is one of my all-time favorites. I am so excited to read a horror story from her I can't even talk about. We also have P. Djeli Clark, Tochi Onyebuchi, Rebecca Roanhorse, Nnedi Okorafor. I'm just so excited. I feel like this anthology is going to be so amazing. Also, October 3rd. October 3rd is like a big day for book releases. We have Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. This is a horror novella that, first of all, cover 10 out of 10. But this one says that it is a sweet sapphic romance that takes a deadly turn. Rosemary meets Ash at the farmer's market. You know, just how we want every sapphic romance to begin. The way that I would love to find my wife at a farmer's market. They fall in love, they make beeswax candles, but then her obsession with Ash consumes her, and she may find she's not the one doing the devouring. Doesn't that sound amazing? On October 10th, we have Last to Leave the Room by Caitlin Starling, who is another one of my favorite authors. This is her new book that is a speculative horror, and it's about this city that is sinking and a research team that is investigating it. The main character is a doctor on that team, and she discovers this weird door to a basement that shouldn't exist, and when she opens up the door, she finds inside is an exact replica doppelganger of her. But this doppelganger is sweet, where she is very cruel, and the longer that this doppelganger exists, the more that she is forgetting about herself and her own life. It sounds so cool. I love books about clones and doppelgangers, and I've loved the 2 books by Caitlin Starling that I've read before this, so I am so excited to get my hands on this. Then I have some sequels coming out this fall that I am so excited for. So many of my favorite books have a sequel coming out over the next couple of months. We have 2 Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. This is the sequel to One Dark Widow. This comes out on October 19th, and I am so excited for this. I believe that this is a duology, so this is the final book, and I cannot wait. Book 1 ended on a cliffhanger, and I loved that book so much, so I am so excited to read book 2. This is like a gothic fantasy romance. The magic and the world building in the first book was so cool. Then of course we have Iron Flame, which is the sequel to Fourth Wing. This is definitely my most anticipated book for the rest of the year. This comes out on November 7th, and I cannot wait to read this. I am scared, I am nervous, but I'm so excited. And then we have Bookshops and Bone Dust, which is the prequel to Legends and Lattes. This also comes out on November 7th. I have already read this, but I do plan on rereading it when it comes out. All I'll say for now is that it was really, really good. And also, if you are somebody who read Legends and Lattes and thought it didn't have enough plot for you, this one is much more plot heavy. It still has those cozy vibes, but it's more plot forward. Now we are gonna go into choosing a few prompts for my TBR jar. I'm just gonna pick 3 and select some TBR books. I'm very much in the mood for like atmospheric, cozy, dark. Cozy and dark are a little bit oxymorons, but that is what I'm in the mood for right now. So the first challenge I'm going to pick is, whoop, this one, which is, ooh, a booktuber's favorite. So I actually know exactly the book that I want to pick. This is a favorite book of Sarah from Sarah Without an H. About once a month, she will message me and be like, Riley, have you read this? When are you gonna read this? Are you planning on reading this anytime soon? And that is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. I actually started this book. I got 30 pages in. So this book is about a researcher who is going to this small town to study fairies and write the first ever encyclopedia of fairies. It is supposed to be cozy fantasy, atmospheric, whimsical, magical. I think there's a little bit of a romance and like academic rivals. I really feel like this is gonna be a 5-star favorite book, and that's kind of why I've been putting it off. But I feel like this would be a great one for the fall months, just like these soft, cozy, whimsical vibes. Next one, we have this, which is a book that reminds you of a favorite movie or TV show. Ooh, okay. Let me think of some of my favorite movies. Well, my all-time favorite movie is Pride and Prejudice. Oh my god, okay. This is a book that I have had almost the entire time I've had my channel, and that is Shades of Milk and Honey by Mary Robinette Kowal. I actually have, if you can see it up there, I have the entire series, and I was hopefully going to read it soon, so this is perfect. Like, listen to the pitch of this book, okay? It says, it is like wandering onto a secret picnic attended by Pride and Prejudice and Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It is precisely the sort of tale we would expect from Jane Austen if she lived in a world where magic was real. Does that not sound so good? So this is basically like Jane Austen with magic. I've said this before, but the quickest way to get me to read something is to tell me it's Jane Austen but with magic, or Jane Austen but with dragons, or Jane Austen but like Jane Austen with blank. Give it to me immediately. So I'm very excited to finally read this. And then the last challenge is this one, which is a genre hybrid. Okay, let me do a little bit of looking and see what I can find. Okay, I think I found one that is gonna be perfect for this challenge. So that is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. I just read 2 books by Adrienne Young and I really liked them. They were YA books. But this is one of her adult books. This is a fantasy, but I believe it has like a murder mystery vibe to it. It says it's deeply atmospheric about ancestral magic, an unsolved murder, and a second chance at true love. Like, that just sounds amazing, and also like really good vibes for fall. So I think I'm gonna go with this one. There we have my 3 TBR jar picks. I feel like these are exactly the vibes that I wanted, like cozy, magical, whimsical. The jar really came through for me this time. So that is my whole fall TBR. Let me know in the comments what books you're most excited to read in the fall. Thank you guys for watching, and if you liked this video, please like and subscribe and check out my Patreon where I post tons of exclusive content. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!